Hello, and thanks for listening to your SCAMLE's exclusive podcast, ExplorED. On these episodes, you will enjoy exclusive interviews with some names you recognize and some people you'll be meeting for the first time. In each of our episodes, we will ask you to think and grow and reflect as a professional educator. If you aren't yet a member of SCAMLE, we encourage you to join today. More information can be found at www.scamle.org. There, find out more information about membership, conferences, and professional development opportunities. And don't forget to join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My name is Sarah Evanson Atkinson, and I serve as the Professional Development Director for your SCAMLE. I am an educator of 21 years and a past SCAMLE president as well.
This week contains the first day of school for many districts in our great state of South Carolina, and it's important to both recognize and affirm that this school year is shaping up already to be a school year like none other. I've thought a great deal about what I'd most like to share with our professional listeners to this podcast as we bring the Back to School series to a close with my words. I deal in professional development and adult professional learning, but my time in the classroom laid the groundwork for a deeply rooted understanding of the needs of our students and their families. Yes, everyone is different, and every year presents unique challenges, but there are several elements that are forever the same. Many years ago, I recall sitting in my then instructional coach's office sort of complaining about my most challenging class period and the two students who seemed committed to making my life difficult overall. These students wanted to see me sweat, I thought, and I wanted a solution, a break, some words of encouragement, something. My coach, who I highly respected, breathed in deeply a most cleansing breath and looked me square in the eyes and said, "This is the best these families have. They certainly haven't kept the good kids at home while these children wreak havoc in your 7th period class. These children are quite literally the best these families have to offer. We must honor that." Of course, she was right. The families we serve aren't keeping the good ones at home only to terrorize us with the ones they can't seem to handle back at the house. The truth of this exchange for me was a simple one. I must honor the children, love them and care for them and nurture them. Just as nurturing student learning looks different depending on a diverse body of factors, so too is the spectrum of bests. My Monday best may look a bit different than my Friday best, and some of our students' Monday best may be a bit untenable until they are fed and trust us to nurture them once again. We have an obligation to bring our best to our students daily and honor the best they have for us. Grace is not weakness. The next element that until the last 18 months we never really said aloud, because I'm not sure we believed it had any place in the education landscape. We've all seen the TED Talks and inspirational videos where we're encouraged to be a champion for a child, a staunch advocate for a young person, or a trusted confidant to a kiddo. But what about all those times a colleague has rolled their eyes at you because you chose peace over being right and erred on the side of the child? I'm reminded often that I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, lots of them, most of which are made in public for everyone to observe. Well, I hate to tell you this, but we all make mistakes and wish we could hit the pause button on life to rethink a retort or reprocess a response. If we expect grace for our families and our students, we mustn't be stingy about doling out grace to others. Life is a pile of gray with few clear-cut answers and guidelines. It's just not that simple. So next time a child makes a mistake, I encourage you to remember a moment when someone was kind enough to let you slide with a warning and extend that same amount of grace. Unspoken accountability can be just as powerful as any conversation with a discipline administrator or worse. If you know, you know. Grace is a commodity that flows in multiple directions and is not synonymous with going easy on people or letting anyone off the hook. Don't be a doormat or a pushover. I could go on and on. We can be firm and kind with high expectations for excellence all at once. Balance should be our goal as education professionals. Unfortunately, balance is an art that is sometimes missing from life in the middle level. Adolescents live in a world that is highly magnified by hormones, social media, peer pressure, and friends. Historically, the adults around these adolescents have adopted a narrative wherein they could provide calm, peace, and steadfast support, steeling themselves and the children in their charge against the raging winds of growing up and change just beyond the school doors. Today, being able to offer such support is harder than it ever has been. Forces outside of ourselves and our profession are eager to see all of us falter and fail, even if it means that the children will be the ones lost in the fury. This is wholly unacceptable to me as a teacher, a professional, an advocate, and a parent. If I had to offer just one pearl of wisdom to keep in your pocket for this school year, it would be to control the narrative by setting boundaries that protect your heart and your livelihood. Part of my role at the school I serve is to man the social media outlets for the school. Do you have any idea how mean and cruel people can be? You don't until you peruse a social media post that is perceived as slightly controversial, which in our current climate could be the lunch menu for the week. And you read the barrage of quips, jokes, digs, sidebar arguments that seem to jump completely off topic in seconds. It can be difficult to process, all of it. Some of that doubt and anger that is clearly manifesting from a place of unbelievable vulnerability and pain can quickly sweep even the toughest among us head on into a wave of self-doubt. When those waves wash over you, whether it's a result of a difficult conversation with a parent or family, a tough conversation with an administrator, or a heated exchange with a colleague, you must recenter to control the narrative, your narrative. Yes, I accept that this is easier said than done, and I'm certainly not any kind of expert in self-care as a self-proclaimed recovering workaholic myself. But if you don't control the narrative, your narrative, others will write your story for you. And the danger of allowing another to determine your joy, your job satisfaction, your happiness will become alarmingly clear. We all have room to grow into better versions of ourselves, and our students already see the shiny bits of our greatness before we do. Allow yourself to see a face in the mirror that is more than enough to meet the needs of your students in your classroom, because I assure you that they already do. When we ask students what they need more of in school, young adolescents overwhelmingly respond that they want more time with their teachers. They want more of you. When the wave of self-doubt comes near your shoreline, remember that the young people in the desks in your classroom routinely seek you out for answers, insight, and support. The naysayers shouting from the sidelines don't control you or your narrative. My daughter starts kindergarten in the morning, and we've packed her backpack, her lunch tote, and have even laid out her new outfit plastered in pink My Little Ponies. She went by herself to get ready for her tubby right after dinner in hopes that that would make the morning come sooner. Her words. Don't think for a moment that a majority of our middle schoolers aren't feeling the same level of excitement and anxiousness. You are challenged to inspire the kiddos in your care to greatness. You are the one that has been chosen for this important challenge. One of the prides of your SCAMLE is our ability to bring your professional learning opportunities and meaningful network activities on a regular basis. I am honored to be able to serve all of you in my role as professional learning coordinator for this organization. The podcast at this point is going to take a brief hiatus as I pivot toward Thursday evening PDs from your sofa, more podcasts with voices from professionals you're interested in hearing from, and, of course, serving meaningfully and deeply in the roles I do in all aspects of my personal and professional life. As always, please don't be a stranger. Email me anytime at scamlepd@gmail.com. Visit my website to access tons of great resources for your classroom, and check out everything we have to offer at www.scamle.org.